Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. A few of you requested to do a video about how to eliminate harshness, mud, and annoying frequencies, annoying resonances. So today, this is what we're going to be focusing on, turning low quality sounds, not necessarily low quality, but sounds that are a bit too dirty and sound not as high quality as they could. And we're going to be turning those sounds into high quality ones. Polished, clean, and pleasant to listen to. I'm going to show you my process, and it's a very good timing because I have this pack that I'm working on. Sound Enhancers is coming out tomorrow, and I have a few of the sounds to polish, and we are gonna be doing that today. Perfect timing. This is like the final step in making a sample pack, is to go through all of these sounds and make sure everything is perfect, everything is top notch, and that the sounds are clean and the highest quality, and the sounds are pleasant, not annoying at all. That's what you're gonna get. So we're gonna take these sounds and we're gonna fix them, and if you want to get the pack, oversample.us, check it out. And the Sound Enhancers is going to be a sample pack, such a huge variety of sounds, but basically sounds that are going to enhance your current sounds, your sections, and ultimately your music. So it's like details, ear candies, backgrounds, transitions, movements, stereo wideners, textures, transients, bodies, tails, melodic enhancers like ARP, melodic one-shots, glitters. If you're interested, oversample.us, link in the description as well. This is definitely one of the most useful, if not the most useful packs that I've ever made. So let's dive into fixing and clearing up these sounds. So they are high quality already because that's how went through working on this pack. We went through iterations of sending sounds to me and giving feedback and fixing the sound, so they are already high quality. But there may be little things inside of them that need to be taken care of. I need to double check for different things. What the fuck, bro? I cannot find anything. I'm honestly going through the sounds and I cannot find anything, which is, I mean, that's great. That's how it's supposed to be. So here's one sound that we could take care of. As you can hear, there's like a lot of clicks. This is not something that's pleasant. So we can pull up RX and there's this declick option, periodic clicks we can preview. So this is with the clicks and this is without. Way more pleasant. So we're gonna go maybe like 7.9. Render the whole thing. You will see that those clicks right here, those bumps, they are going bye-bye. You can see them usually on a spectrum like this because they are very short, bright peaks. Go into file, overwrite original file. You can pull it up, then go open EQ. Especially in those regions, you can see this. You can see these frequencies are popping. Here it is not a problem. But if you go higher, you can actually hear this. And it makes the whole sound dirty. They're like these like... So this is something that we're gonna cut, and we have to automate it because the frequencies are going up. So we're gonna start right here. Those are the frequencies that we need. We don't need anything below. And we're gonna put an automation line right here, and then we're gonna go move it right here. Maybe below. So now we just gotta make sure that this is following properly. It is. Waveform is very spiky, and this is not so necessary. So we can put a limiter at the end, go into the loudest part of that sound, and simply go and limit that. So at this point, you gotta make sure that the limiting isn't introducing any distortion. You need to have a proper settings of limiter. So in this limiter, these settings are not introducing any distortion. They have a certain way that the sound sounds. It doesn't squash so much. If I go lower, you will see that the waveform gets more squashed. So you can get more loudness, but at the cost of distortion, and especially in sounds that have a lot of high frequencies and there's no lows, you can hear that these low clicks, they're being added. And the more you compress, the more you can hear that. So you want to use settings that are clean and that are not introducing anything. You can also make sure that there's no annoying frequencies. They may be a little bit piercing. And I'm also going to cut a little bit of here because I'm hearing kind of like unnecessary noise. It's very quiet. And since the frequencies are moving from low to high, we also got to make sure that this region is being taken care of. These can get very annoying. So before you can hear this like... Now it's tamed, it's way cleaner. So because we are cutting frequencies, cutting resonances before the limiter, the waveform is going to change. Without the soothe, there's way more limiting than with soothe because we're taking down the volume of these frequencies. So we also got to make sure that we go a little bit higher. And now at this point we can go freeze and flan, and this is what we get. Make sure there are fades at the ends and the beginnings of the sound, and that sounds clean. So we can go and export. So we've got the sound before. Here are the clicks, very annoying, and this is after. Before, after. Way cleaner. So let's go maybe into some of the melodic enhancers. Oh yeah, this one's nice. So mainly for clearing the sounds, you want to have a few of the effects. Mainly EQ, soothe, and then have some sort of like declick, decrackle, like RX. And you want to have a limiter at the end. And then you can put any effect, like if you want to have the sound be wider, I'm gonna also cover that in a second. Then you can use some effects. If you want to have some distortion, you can put that, of course. You can put OTT, you can put any really effect. In this case, maybe you hear already what the problem is. This is like one of the lowest frequencies that are part of the sound. And this is not a part of the sound. This like wide, low dirt. So just cut it. And you get a way cleaner sound before. After. The best way to clean up the sound inside of the EQ is to boost, listen, and then cut and find the moment where the frequencies that you're previewing, that they're not too much, they're like balanced, like a perfect amount of them. And the EQ is a very underrated tool. It can change the sound dramatically in terms of quality. You don't want anything after that. I can already hear that this is like psh. Here. You can hear it very loudly. It sticks out, so just pull it down. You can do this and then go gain down. I would say this is a good amount. Although this is only one frequency that's annoying. Sometimes you gotta look for these little resonances that they're like sticking out. They're like completely unnecessary in the sound. And it's like two sounds are being layered on top of each other. Which is the trumpet and it's like shh. So soothe is going to be very helpful. Just target that. Use hard mode. We can just mute those frequencies. It's already way cleaner. If you listen closely, you can hear that there's this particular resonance in it, like da. So what you can do is you can find that manually. If it is hard to find sometimes the resonance, you can sweep and see like when it appears. Clean. Here. So it's like da. Da. Make sure the sound doesn't lose anything, and then do limiting. And you may be like, okay, why the hell are you limiting? And the reason is that it is simply a better thing. Like if there are certain spikes that are going too loud, like they totally don't have to be here. The sound is not going to lose much energy or dynamics. It's still going to sound great, but you will not have these spikes in your songs. Like you will still have to limit the sound anyways, because you will have these spikes and you connect this sound with other sounds and they're going to get more spikes and more spikes and more spikes. You will have a lot of unnecessary dynamic sticking out spikes in your song, so it's unnecessary for them to be in a sound. Freeze and flan. So this is before and it's after. It's cleaner, it doesn't have the bottom mud, it sounds more natural, and I would say even changing the tone of the sound. I mean, changing the tone of the sound can change its pitch also, but it can change also its overall feel and expression of it. So here, the new version sounds more natural and expressive. It's like more emotional if you pay attention. It's more like vocally. It sounds more natural. It's like vocally. All the frequencies here in the EQ are sine waves. If you remove one of the sine waves, you will accentuate another one. So if you are cutting frequencies like this heavily, like resonances, you may accentuate other ones and you will get a bit of a different pitch. We can go into clearing mud right now. Yes, we can take this sound, we can go into clearing mud and also making the sound wider. A few ways you can clear mud. You can use soothe, of course, target these low frequencies. It's very nice because it picks them up manually. So you get a muddy sound. I mean, this is a thunderstorm, so it's not really a bad thing. But it is we could say a muddy sound, and we could make it less muddy by compressing those frequencies. The mud is like low, but around 250, and it can go up to 500. So we can do this. I think it sounds actually better. So that's one way. Another way you can do this is just a manual cut. Like here is where the mud is. Like if we boost it, you can hear how muddy it gets. So we can just cut it like this to where it sounds great. You can make one cut, you can make another one to create the shape that you want. You can completely eliminate this if that works for the sound. Sometimes you just don't need these frequencies at all. We're getting just rain. But we want this, and so if there are frequencies of this playing sometimes, but sometimes they're not, you can use dynamic EQ. The Soothe works for this, but you can use a dynamic EQ like this, and it's going to react based on the input volume, and it's going to compress these frequencies only when they pop up. That's mainly it. And sometimes the frequencies are popping up only on the sides, so you can just use a side cut. Just remove it. It sounds very annoying sometimes when they're wide, low frequencies, so you could just cut them like this. They will appear in the mono. In this case, those frequencies are mainly in the middle, so we can go do it like this. It sounds better. And I mean, you can imagine if there's a thunderstorm, the thunder is going to be on the sides, it's not going to be really in the middle. So we have to make sure to do that. One of the requests has been for making sounds wide. So this is what you can do. You can cut them in the middle, and then you can use in Pro Q, there's the scissors tool, and it cuts them into sides as well. So you can cut the mids and boost the sides. If there is side signal, you will get this wide sound. And we can also boost the highs, make them wider, and this region as well. Before, after, sounds way more natural. That sounds pretty good. I'm gonna add another EQ because we're gonna deal a little bit with the tone. So boost, cut, make it more impactful. I kind of like this. Kind of adds beef to the sound. It adds more rain. Because we're tweaking frequencies, this waveform is totally gonna change. So freeze and flan. This is what you're getting. Find the loudest sound, which is here. We're gonna cut it like so. That's perfect. Before, it's in the middle. It's not wide. The tone is not there. And we've got more of an actual rain and thunder situation. I'm gonna show you how you can enhance stereo. You can use a stereo widener. But, okay, so we got this transient. Let's say I want it to be wide. You can use EQ, mid-side EQ. You can use a side signal. and we got side signal. So we can just boost it, cut it in the middle. You get this, and it's losing some power, so we're gonna just boost the lows. We got the white signal. Another thing you can do is you can use a reverb with short settings. I have this saved. It adds this, puts the sound in this room, and you can mix it a little bit. Maybe this. You got wider sound. Place it further into the back maybe. Get something like this. Don't add too much high end because this is what it sounds like. That you can do. You can use dedoubler, which is it adds a delay. It's a free plugin. It adds delay and it doubles your sound in stereo. You can hear the delay. It works in some cases. It may not work great for transients. It adds delay. It's a great plugin. It doesn't work for this case. You can also use, what was I thinking about? House effect. That does this. It does sound great. You get this very white sound, but you gotta watch out, like in mono, you get this, but you're not gonna listen to this in mono, right? So use it, but use it wisely. If you want to eliminate the mud, there's one easy effect that you can use. Pretty muddy, right? An anti-mud compressor that I made for Ableton. It's an Ableton rack. I'm gonna put a link in the description. And then you can use anti-mid and anti-low features. And they clean up the mud. In the lows and in the mid. And there is even amount of those. Make it super not muddy at all. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this video. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Sound enhancers should be out already, so check them out in the link in the description. Have a great day and see you soon.